Jeff Munn. I want to go a little bit deeper on something I wrote about this week. The idea of doing, being, and seeing as three ways, often seen as progressive of being in the world, and maybe the advantages and disadvantages to each. Although I think as we talk about it more, it'll become obvious that I have a preference. The default mode for most high achievers is doing, and the idea, the thought that we have to be doing constantly. I guess we can take a break for sleep. We judge ourselves based on how much we've done. We are judged based on how much we have done. Corporate planning is 100% based on what we got done during the year, what we're going to get done next year, how much we're going to sell, how much revenue we're going to have, whatever measure you want to make up, whatever KPI you want to create, is all about the result. And that's okay as long as you realize that the way to those results may be unpredictable. So we like to be able to predict the future. We like to be able to predict the arrival point. We don't necessarily know how we're going to get there. And so that's where this concept of being comes in. I think there is a recognition, particularly if you think of teachers like Werner Erhart, who created EST and now Landmark. There's an emphasis in those teachings around being, and whatever you do comes from a sense of being, right? Who you are being is determinative of, or a precursor of, what you do in the world. And so there's a lot of teachings, there's a lot of coaches who talk about, it's all about your being. And that's true. But most people turn being into a doing, another doing, right? Who am I being? And so they create statements or affirmations or some kind of cognitive creation through repetition and exercise and hard work of who they're going to be in the world. And it is not only effortful, it's, for most people, it comes from the ego. So it feels to me like it's a little more powerful than potentially just the doing without thinking about it path. It feels like it's got a little more leverage. But if I'm really honest with myself, do I want my ego in charge of who I am and what I'm going to create? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that in my experience, my ego has no idea what's really going to make me happy. All my ego really cares about is feeling better about my ego and feeling like somehow I did enough. And my ego spends a lot of time really recognizing, first of all, that it's created, it's ephemeral, it's made of thought, it doesn't really exist, and it's kind of terrified about that because it knows when the gig is up, it's gone, it's out of here. And I think it fundamentally knows that there's something bigger running the show. And that's where I get to seeing, because to me, seeing, what you see drives everything. If what I see is a small, limited self that's scared to death and really struggling to make its way in the world, that's going to drive a lot of who I come from in my sense of being and what I do. It's going to be a lot of accumulating and grasping and beating myself up and making up new and different rules so that I can get more of the stuff that I think I need. But as I see more and more, as I see more and more deeply, I recognize I really don't. So if what I see instead is that there's some bigger intelligence or presence that's all of this is happening within, that this intelligence or presence or seeing is always okay, that it can create anything and does, and that I can kind of point it in a particular direction if I want to put it to work. So in a way, I mean, it's creating everything, and in a way I can kind of use it, and that seeing that is wild and fun, and it amazes me the stuff that this intelligence can come up with if I, little Jeff, get out of the way. So I want to encourage you to try this for yourself, to experiment, to see what you can see. And be honest. It's you're there. There's more, and there is always more and more to see. And what you see will always lead you to an insight that will steer you in a little bit different direction than maybe you've gone before. So have fun with that, and I'll see you next time.